Alright, so what have we got here are two power supplies from a couple of trash-picked BenQ FP71G Plus computer monitors. And these are some of the few computer monitors that actually fail before the caps burst. These are not good quality caps, they are elite brand usually. Seen some with caps on, and we've got a couple of Lelons here. But before the caps fail on these, they all get the same problem. And it's these caps in the inverter, they sit there, and they get a bad solder joint on one of the legs, and this transistor always fails. Without any change between monitors, it's a 2SC5707, and they always fail. But another sort of strange thing about these is this fuse down here. This is the fuse for the inverter, and it's a non-resettable type, but it's not just your common glass fuse like this one, but it's some special type, and it fails in a really strange way. I've got my meter here set to 20k, and in about half of the cases this fuse will turn into a resistor. So let's check them out in these monitors. So I think the left one was, yeah, this one is pretty much just nothing there. But if we look at the right power supply, 3k, yeah, it's a 3k resistor. That's obviously not going to pass enough current to power on the inverter, and I've spent so much time with a mate, and we couldn't understand, because we measured these caps here, and there was power everywhere. I mean, you've got voltage at the collectors of the drive transistors, why on earth would it not power on? But of course, as soon as any current tried to get drawn by the inverter control IC, the power would dip and it would reset. So we spent a lot of time trying to figure that out. But I know it these days. These power supplies should be okay. I've I've taken part from this one and put into this one, and this one should power up as soon as I replace the fuse. So I'm going to have to try doing that, and hopefully I'll end up with one working monitor, and once I can get my hands on a couple of new transistors, I know my mate who fixed these monitors as well has about 40 of them, I should be able to get the other one up and running as well. These are not very special monitors, they're just 17-inch 5:4 aspect ratio things, but they are decent monitors. Can probably fetch about 30-40 euros a piece used. Alright, I've mounted the repaired power supply back in the monitor. I just bypassed the fuse with a bit of wire, because I know the power supply regulator chip is current limited. That fuse is pretty, well, useless. If something breaks, it's probably gonna be a dead short anyhow, so it'll just go tick 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 and not turn on. Anyhow, got the power cable coming, not plugged in. So let's see if this thing will fire. By the way, as you can see, this cable is not plugged into the wall. That's why I'm safe to have my hands around it. But once it's plugged in, you don't want to stick your fingers anywhere near it. Let's go. Blink, blink, blink. Blink, 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 blink. And that does not look too promising. Not too promising at all. It seems as if only one of the CFLs is firing. Alright, take two. I tried to put the power supply into the other monitor, there seem to be slightly different revisions. The signal management board there is not quite the same, and it seems to work in this monitor, but it doesn't seem to be able to turn the backlight off. You can see the monitor is in standby now. If I turn it off, no difference. If I turn it back on, you get picture, but you can't turn it off. You can just quit feeding signal to the LCD. So something's probably up with this power supply, some shorted transistor or something that can't properly turn off. So I'm going to have to research that. It only uses 14 watts when it's just got the backlight on though. That's not a whole lot. I was expecting a lot more because, well, it seems to be stuck at max brightness. Oh well, back to the drawing board. I found the problem on the power supply that made it stick on. There's this little FET that's shorted. So I looked around on the two screens and noticed that the one with the well, the other one had an LG Philips panel, so I hold them in more higher regard than Kebumen of the one that I tried to fix before. So I changed some parts around, and now I'm going to try this power supply in this other LCD screen. Hopefully it will work. Its transistor, this one I think, is still in good shape. So let's plug it in and hope that it doesn't explode. And oh yeah, I checked the caps were all good. Oh yeah, I forgot to swap the fuse. There it is. Whoops. Okay, that's a better fuse. Let's try that again then. Power on. There we go. Does it stay on? Yes sir. Drawing 18 watts. This looks fine. I hope these marks are mostly dirt. They tend to be mostly dirt. They should clean off. In fact, most scratches on LCD screens are actually just dirt and some plastic remains. You know, if you scrape it, they sort of you get this white powdery stuff come off of them, and that's just what sticks around. And if you give it a really good clean, they'll usually pretty much disappear, even fairly severe scratches. But yeah, I think I can be happy with this. Now I've just got to get some more parts. I think the total is going to be 3 transistors and well, yeah, three new transistors for the other one to get brought back to life. But I might make another video of that. It's gonna take a while. To be frank, my priority in fixing stuff around here is not generally 17-inch LCD screens, because I have a lot of 17-inch LCD screens. Also, when you've got a dirty or scratched LCD screen like this, I think it's a good idea to just take the bezel off when you can and give it a good clean without getting it full of liquid. And there you go. There's not a trace of the so-called scratches on the screen anymore. I literally just cleaned them off. Not bad at all. Let's just hope that it's a good quality panel. Alright, we're all back put back together, and I've hooked the monitor up to my laptop computer over there. I've done a Windows plus P, and it seems to have detected the monitor, which is always a good sign, so let's turn it on and see what happens. Bank. There we go. Nice and sharp, although you can't see it through the camera because it doesn't have autofocus. Let's see what the menu's got. Luminance. Yeah, they're always set to 100% brightness. I don't know why people like it that way. I never have my monitors on anything but 0% really. Anyhow, I think it's always a good idea to do a factory recall on these monitors so that any stupid settings people have put into them don't carry on to their new owner. But all in all, this monitor seems to be in good shape. I don't think it's had too many hours behind it. Perhaps it can even tell us. Nope. Oh, yeah, the button layout on these things are not the best really. It's got an I button and that does the auto adjustment. Why on earth would they call that I? Oh well. I suppose that does it for that monitor. Until next time. Cheerio.